Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eye Opener Society and welcome back to our Thursday night sermon. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have Lizzie, our cosmic fairy princess, here with us. Welcome back to the show. Thank everybody for joining us, tuning in, wherever you're joining us from, whether you're joining us live, whether you're joining us right here on a recorded episode. We are so happy to see you. I'm happy to be back, and I'm saying that because I've been off of social media for at least the past 7 days, I believe. And I just got back on today, which is going to lead me up to my sermon. But of course, I want to just let everybody know again, as I had mentioned, if you would like to hear something on our sermon or even on our Monday with the Minister show, please reach out to us, churchofeos@gmail.com. And you could also get on our mailing list if you do so wish. Just let us know what you're looking for, and just let us know if you would like to work with either myself or with Lizzie. So let's jump in on this, all right? This is my little take on what happened when I took social media apps off of my phone. So this is social media surprise. So I want to share a little experiment. And for the last 7 days, I deleted every social media app from my phone. And it's not because I hated social media, and it's not because I, was angry with technology or anything like that, or because and I certainly don't consider myself to be addicted. I just wanted to discover something when I did this. I wanted to know how much of my life was being quietly influenced by something that had become so ordinary that I barely noticed it anymore. So what I discovered has surprised me. The first day I found myself reaching for my phone without even thinking. And I wasn't responding to a message. I wasn't looking up information. There wasn't even a reason. My hands just simply moved. It was automatic. That's when I realized something. Sometimes habits become so deeply rooted that we mistake them for our own choices. So, how many times each day do we unlock our phones without any purpose? How many times do we open the same app only to close it 30 seconds later? I'm sorry, I'm just taking a quick little, wanted to do something here real quick. Sorry about that, people. I'm back. So when we open one app, then we open another, we're not always looking for information. And sometimes we're just following a pattern. And that pattern quietly steals something incredibly valuable, our attention. And our attention eventually becomes our life. So think about that. Where your attention goes, your life actually follows. If your attention constantly moves from one distraction to another, your days begin to feel kind of scattered. And if your attention is focused on purpose, your life becomes more intentional. So, one of the most common phrases that I hear is, I do not have time. And this is especially true when it comes to meditation. I always hear that. I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to sit quietly. But after this little experience, I began to ask myself a different question. Do we really not have time? Or have we unknowingly given our time away? See, every moment that we spend scrolling without any intention, every unnecessary refresh of the phone screens, every automatic visit to some app that you have, those moments, they accumulate. 5 minutes becomes 15, 15 becomes an hour, so on and so forth. Our hours even become weeks. So time isn't always stolen in large pieces. Sometimes it's borrowed a few seconds at a time until we suddenly wonder where our lives went. So let me be clear. Social media itself isn't the enemy, and technology isn't evil. In fact, social media has connected families across continents. It's introduced us to wonderful people, such as our cosmic fairy princess. It has allowed ideas to travel farther than ever before, and it helped build communities that otherwise may never have even existed. So the tool is not the problem. The question is, who is using whom? Are you using social media, or is social media using you? That's the question we should all ask ourselves. See, many platforms are carefully designed to hold our attention. The longer we stay, the more content we consume, it's more likely we are going to return. And that doesn't mean we're powerless. No, we have far more influence than we actually realize. Every time you choose what to watch, you are teaching the algorithm who you are. Every time you linger on negativity, it learns to show you more negativity. Every time you chase outrage, it offers you more outrage. But the opposite's also true. If you intentionally seek kindness, you begin seeing kindness on your feeds. If you start searching for inspiration, your feed gradually becomes more inspiring. So if you support creators who educate, your digital world becomes more educational. You are not simply consuming your feed little by little, you're actually creating it. You have more control than you actually think. And perhaps the greatest surprise wasn't what disappeared, it's what returned: quiet, presence, and time. Without those constant interruptions, I found myself noticing the world again. See, I noticed conversations, I noticed nature, my own thoughts. I found moments to simply sit in silence. And those moments reminded me that peace doesn't usually arrive because the world gets quieter. See, peace arrives because we become quieter. And maybe that's what meditation has been trying to teach us all along. Meditation isn't always about finding more time. Sometimes it's about reclaiming the time that you already have. So instead of opening another app, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Instead of endlessly scrolling, take a walk. Instead of reading hundreds of strangers' opinions, why don't you pick up the phone? Call somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Hear their voice, share a laugh, ask how they're doing. That is social media in its purest form. Real connection, real conversation, real humanity with no filters, no algorithms, no likes, just people. Perhaps we've forgotten that community was never meant to exist only behind a screen. It was meant to exist around dinner tables, park benches, during walks, inside places of worship, in volunteer groups, even in classrooms. And any human beings choose to truly listen to one another. Technology should enhance those moments, never replace them. So tonight, I want to leave you with a simple challenge. You don't have to delete every app. You don't have to abandon technology. Just simply become aware. The next time your hand reaches for your phone, stop, ask yourself one question: why am I opening this? If there's a purpose, continue. But if there isn't, perhaps that moment belongs somewhere else. Maybe it belongs in reflection. Perhaps it belongs in gratitude. Or maybe take time to meditate. Or perhaps it belongs to someone waiting for a phone call from you. So remember this: attention is one of the greatest gifts you possess. Where you place it determines the quality of your life. So don't let the world choose that for you. Choose it for yourself. Use technology wisely. Seek genuine connection. Train your attention towards what uplifts your spirits. Every now and then, give yourself the beautiful surprise of stepping away long enough to remember who you are without the noise. So thank you, and remember, you always remain the author of your own attention. Thank you very much. I'm going to be introducing you now to Lizzie, our cosmic fairy princess. Let's bring her aboard. Lizzie, we're so happy to have you here. The spotlight is all yours.
Okay. Reality is made up of patterns sequenced into stories you're willing to structure your life around. It's kind of like a worded sentence. I'm just going to say it one more time. Reality is made up of patterns sequenced into stories you're willing to structure your life around. And you don't have to accept it as truth. Just kind of ponder that as you explore your world there. I believe the awareness is the lens you shift to influence how things are operating. And awareness operates most wholesomely through hope for what you want to experience, grace in what pains you, and an acknowledgement of what is either way. Becoming aware of something you've been quietly declaring isn't going to make anything worse. Just the awareness to it is more obvious. When that awareness leads with grace, meaning nothing is good or bad, maybe just incomplete or satisfactory, what you engage with multiplies, but what goes for what you don't, but that goes for what you don't even notice you engage with. And that often is the tricky part. Can you explain the patterns that structure your life and what they are trying to become? Revealing underlying emotions can show you how you're engaging with something, but then what do you do with it? Declaring the perfect thing you see and attempting to pattern that is detrimental in my experience. That quantum jump feels like a bird trying to be a whale coming out as an alligator. Your mind, your cells, your system, your reality, it all needs time and space in order to recalibrate while you feel safe enough to not hold it. Insisting something will work holds it in a state of not yet working. Giving space while you align with something allows it to either work or lead you somewhere better than you previously could have imagined. Maybe you ended up looking like an alligator because you weren't becoming a whale in the first place. Maybe that was the process of you realizing how you were actually the whole ocean. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. You can't know something without context to apply and believe it. When you jump from worst case scenario to best case scenario, you're applying old context to a makeshift new layout for your system. How do you even know what goes where and what works? You can channel any info in the universe, but applying it takes self reflection, awareness, grace, hope, and a willingness to sit in the discomfort of the world decomposing around you while you become the garden. Some people see politics, the elites, the money system, the divorce rate, the mental health issues, the environmental issues. Some people see issues destroying the world, and I get it because I used to. But I see the old world decomposing just like I was doing. I see awareness coming out because things got so tense, there was nowhere to hide. And if you want to experience a garden growing instead of the end of the world, you need to start planting seeds. You don't have you don't have to be your perfect imagined self. The world doesn't have to be your perfect depiction of a world, and you can't just fake it. See what is See what is, acknowledge how you feel about it, build a bridge to where you want, alchemize what you don't yet know what to do with, and give grace to everything that doesn't meet your standards. See how they are planting seeds for both themselves and you. Speaking what you want as it already exists amplifies the feelings that you already feel. Speaking what you want as it already exists amplifies the feelings that you already feel. Be honest, if you stood up in front of a crowd and said, I did this or I am this, how does it feel? Possible? Believable? A fraud? Can they follow you through life and see how it's true? Do you see how it's true? If no, then a bridge is going to get you there a lot faster than pretending you're already on the other side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lizzie. Really appreciate it. I was lost in your moment. I actually felt you right there. Appreciate it so much. I want to appreciate. I also appreciate the entire audience, everybody that listens in. We're going to close down the sermon tonight. We thank you for joining us. Lizzie and I are going to do a little behind the scenes recording here, real quick, just for you, everybody. So look out for that as well. We can always be found on podbean.com under eyeopenersociety.podbean.com, or just search Eye Opener Society to find us.